everybody, MovieFanZ here. So the movie I'm going to be reviewing for you is 1984's The Natural. So this movie is directed by Barry Levinson, and it's basically the story of Roy Hobbs, who is a middle-aged man who somehow becomes a amazing baseball player out of nowhere. And he arrives and nobody knows his backstory or anything like that. But it's just more than just baseball. This is more a movie about relationships. But this movie stars Robert Redford as Roy Hobbs, Robert Duvall as Max Mercy, who is a columnist that works with the team that he's playing for. You have Glenn Close, who plays Iris Gaines, who is someone that Roy knew from his past that becomes involved in the story. You have Kim Basinger as Memo Paris, who is another woman in Roy's life. And finally, you have Wilford Brimley, who plays Pop Kitchens, who is the manager of the team that Roy plays for. So, like I said, and Barry Levinson, a couple of his big movies, a couple years after doing The Natural, he did Good Morning Vietnam and Rain Man. And then later on, he did movies like Envy with Ben Stiller and Jack Black. But in terms of my thoughts on this movie, I think this is a great movie. And like I said at the beginning, I thought I enjoyed it more because it's not just a baseball movie, but it's more about outside of the diamond and the relationships. And this is a movie I'd wanted to see for years because my dad has always talked about it, and I just never got around to seeing it. But there's a lot of pros and cons with this movie. Not a lot of cons, I mean, a lot of pros. My biggest pro with this movie is the cast. I thought you gave amazing performances from Redford, Glenn Close, and Robert Duvall. And I think even Wilford Brimley gives a really good performance as well. And as always, I think the story is really good. And the baseball action is very good. Now, it is not a flawless movie. And I think there are a couple negatives with this movie. I think the first does also have to do with acting. But it's some of the shadier characters that you meet that I feel like their acting is not up to what it should be. And maybe that's done on purpose, but it seems like their roles were a little forced. And also, I don't know how much rewatchability I have with this movie. Maybe one time is all I need, and that's good enough for me. But in terms of a rating, though, I'm going to give The Natural 4 out of 5. And if you enjoy my reviews, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. But this was my review for 1984's The Natural. Come back next time for another review. This is MovieFanZ signing off. Have a good night.